Welcome back to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And welcome back, Louie. I guess you can't stay away. Just admit it.
Almost did. When I saw the topic matter for today.
Okay, and I did post it on my Facebook page, but for those that did not check, today is why male independence is not the solution to unfair divorce and family laws. Look, the truth is, and I think you and all our listeners can agree, that the reason why men are being disillusioned with marriage, and the reason why that's the case is because of concerns about divorce, child custody, and I guess unfair settlements. Now listen to that part. I mean, they're up to losing 70% of what they have.
It seems like the dice is as loaded if you're a bloke. It seems like you're on the losing end.
Yeah, and I guess
you take all the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being the provider and so forth, and in the end, if it doesn't work out,
bye.
Then you lose it.
Yeah.
Lose so much.
And the bloke ends up sleeping in the back of his car, or a park bench somewhere. For many cases, not all.
Many cases, yeah.
So, and you know what else? It's like the man is really the only one that can be prosecuted for anything. If he fails to pay child support, if he can't afford it for some reason, well, heaven forbid, he can be prosecuted.
Yeah.
You see, so you enter into a marriage, it's a contract. If you don't honor the contract all the way right through by paying child support for all them years, then, you can, there's consequences.
Yeah, on the flip side, though, there are a lot of deadbeat dads as well. And
there's no doubt about that.
And I know a specific case. Yeah, you can get payment, but especially if they have their own business, they can under-declare their income.
Exactly.
And then the children don't get anything.
I know,
really.
That's the problem.
Like I know of the case. He's a dentist, but on his tax return, he was only earning $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
So what can you get from him?
Yeah, you can't. If they've got their own business, it's very difficult.
Very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of men who do get divorced straight away get their own business because they can't work for anyone anymore. Because that's all your wages is garnished.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing is if you are on a wage packet and say you might be on a construction site, you might be getting a reasonably good wage or whatever, but by the time you pay the child support and all the other obligations,
it's not worth your while to
then you've got to rent another house or another apartment because you probably can't afford the deposit for a new place. And then so the wife has to stay in the home because the kids are there. You can't disrupt the kids, and that's rightfully so. Yeah, the first and foremost, the child has to come first, and stability to them is the most important thing. But when it comes to it, the guy, he can't go out and rent another place and start another relationship, really, if you notice, because he's broke. And so he can't afford to pay the rent on another apartment or whatever. And so that's a difficult situation. And I don't know if we've addressed it properly in Australia or any country really. So, yeah. So here, my name's The Blue and I'm looking out for you, for the blokes. The blokes need a voice in this.
So, yeah, and I understand that because of all that, I mean, some men conclude that the answer to all this is just to avoid marriage altogether because and avoid commitments or avoid relationships altogether.
That's right. So they'll go out on a few dates or whatever for 1 or 2, 3 months.
Yeah.
And then they've got to cut the relationship after that.
Before it becomes serious.
So at the minute it's like, hi, how are you? Nice to know you and all that and all the stuff. And then next thing you know, they've got to try to make an exit before it gets too close before the bond builds.
Yeah, I mean, then there'll be followers of people like Andrew Tate telling them to
or the MGTOW men going their own way.
Just avoid women altogether. Okay. Or love them and leave them.
Love them and leave them.
Leave them like an Andrew Tate type.
Yeah.
Of
Yep, and they've even got courses of how to do it. Yep, and what to say to them to get the women ensconced
into
bed, and then once you do it, say it's time to say bye-bye, and they usually do it a lot of the times with a vitriol. against the woman. Like it's like
up in
ha ha,
a
I've got your
form of-
back.
form of revenge.
We got your back. It's like another.
And I say, you know that, yeah, you might say ha ha, but you realize how much vitriol she'll be going to throwing back at you.
Well, a lot of people wouldn't really care
Wouldn't
less.
really care less, but yeah, because you've just wasted her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I keep saying.
Yeah, and that's wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
A woman's fertility window is she's only got so much time.
Yeah, so that's one thing,
And
you're
within
right.
that time, she's got to meet someone, form
Yeah.
a relationship, see if that works out
Yep.
before marriage. If not, then she has to go on, move out and find someone else.
Yep.
And by that time, how many years would that take up of her time? And
Yep.
what have you done? You've just wasted more of her time.
And if the guy comes out and says that from the beginning, then the girl's
Then-
going to say, "Oh no, that's not going to work out.
That's not
Bye
gonna work
bye.
out.
Well, let's
No.
end it right now."
Yep.
And so the guy knows
gotta lie and
He's got
lie,
to
cheat,
he's got to
and-
bite his lip.
Yep. No, I'm saying, and then that's all. To trick them, basically it's tricking and lying. To go along, to actually eat up their time.
Yeah, but
Then do not
there's not the-
get involved with young women.
yeah, but also it's not the man that does all the lying and the deceiving. It's not quite the case. It's
this
also the
case-
other party too.
Yeah, in this case, about forming a relationship, if that's okay, do not get involved with young women. Then you don't have this issue.
Yeah.
You're not interested in children
Yeah.
or marriage. Do not get involved with young women.
But well, men's most for the most part, men's desiring
Is somewhat
is
youth
more
and
for
beauty.
youth
It's
and beauty.
but there's a
Yeah.
price. But
Have you
it's not-
noticed a
you're not
mango
gonna
on the
give it.
shelf? You know, like if you notice a mango in the fruit store, once it starts getting a bit wilt, you know, nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah,
If it's got a few
fruit.
blemishes on it, nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
It's the fruit on the shelf that nobody wants. Where does it go? Into the rubbish?
Yeah, but
Pig
then,
feed.
if you're just going to buy it and bring it home for display,
Hmm.
and then when it gets old and then throw it away.
What a
what's the
touchy
point?
subject, divorce.
Yeah,
What a touchy subject, what occurs, isn't it?
very.
And it's like men have been wounded, women have been wounded, and kids get wounded. And so, well, let's hope that we can, from shows like our show here, that we can actually bring a bit of clarity and open the subject matter out so it can be examined and we can come up with a conclusion of perhaps this is a better way how to, go about it or whatever. But it is a serious matter, isn't it? Because a divorce can ruin a lot of things, not just one person, but and children and many things. So, yeah, happy families is the key, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
it's got to be a happy family. Yeah. So, family life's very important.
Very important,
For
but-
society. There's no doubt there. Family
Because
life is very
withdrawal
important.
is really not a long-term solution. Okay, I understand people, men doing it or anyone doing it after they've been through the ringer, as they swear off it.
Yeah.
But that's like in the heat of the moment. You've got
Yeah.
your emotions with you.
Yeah, and if
But-
you're wounded, you don't
Yeah.
want to be bringing that wound to the next people and then saying, I'll get them back by another person by hurting another person.
But yeah,
and then
some
go,
people-
ha ha.
People actually think that's their
yeah,
revenge.
Yes, their revenge. I'll get back on all women.
All women,
And what
yeah.
you've got to realize is that not everybody's the same. If you notice it doesn't matter if you're male or female, there's one thing that's concurrent.
Yeah.
Is that there's good of that gender and there's bad
of
in that gender.
of course. And what do the men do? They make wrong choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Based on
basically-
emotions.
Based on emotion, and they say, oh, she's hot, so she's beautiful, so she make a great wife.
Yeah.
And then find out that it doesn't, and then blame all women, not blaming themselves for they've chosen incorrectly,
Yeah,
and they
that's
did
right.
not put thought into
Yeah,
it.
that's well said.
Chose for their qualities that you actually need.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the difficulty, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like
It's
trying to
like-
get that through to someone, you got to look for somebody
take
that you.
responsibility. It's
that you
like
need.
someone keep eating ice cream because it tastes good and feels good, but then blaming it for causing them to be a beast and all these other health problems. But if they really sat down and thought about it, what they actually need, and ate appropriately, no seed oils, lots of healthy leafy greens, avoiding sugar and so forth. That's great. That's so boring. But it does well for you in the long sense.
Indeed,
So,
it does. Yeah.
yeah, just like what I said, plain looking women marriage material women keep being overlooked. Why? Because they're considered plain, unexciting. So do you want the marriage material person, or do you just want excitement?
Well, you want the excitement at the beginning, and then you want the good one at the end when everything's saying, "Oh, I should have, would have, could
Should have,
have."
would have, could have. So if that's the case, that's the basis you're choosing, making your choices on. Your partners, then take the responsibility and don't complain. People need to take responsibility for their choices. Like you, someone
I think we're really good at complaining.
I had someone really overweight and ended up in a hospital ward because of all the health issues from obesity and their lifestyle.
One bloke in America, they had to get a crane to get him out of his room. They couldn't get him out the door.
But then, you know what, those people, they don't have to take responsibility for their lifestyle choices. But instead, they might sue McDonald's or might sue this joint, that joint for doing unhealthy food. You know, it's like, come on, it's junk food.
Hello.
What do you expect?
Hello. It's not like, you know.
So really, look, more and more men than ever are saying marriage isn't worth a risk. Family courts are stacked against men. Yeah? And I'll just focus on myself. Yeah, but is independence...
I'll just keep all my assets.
But is it actually solving the problem, or is it really just avoiding it? You know, really, like, look, so that's why people, you know, I want people to actually think about it. Is it really solving the problem? Because, that's actually permeated now through to recent trends, like you've seen delayed marriages. Yeah? Maybe people first marriage getting older and older. And less people getting married. Yeah?
Yeah, I would say there'd be much less people getting married now.
Yeah, and because of less people getting married, you've got lower birth rates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one thing they're saying, this is the stats out of China. I know I do discuss China a lot, but because they're, what do you say, taking things, the situation there is at the extreme. So that's a good example for us to look at. Now, a lot of marriage rates now are really plummeted. Compared to 10 years ago, it's like 50% less.
Well, largely because of economic scarcity.
Because of economic scarcity, men are not as well off as before to be a provider. And because of that, they are not as desirable to be chosen as marriage partners. And so women, like I said, women marry across and up. Men marry across and down. So for the women that marry across and up, if they're already at quite a high level themselves, then they'll all expect a man to be at least at that level with them. And then so you've got, in terms of just numbers, scarcity. That's it. And so they're not meeting. But a man that's that high, well, why would he choose a woman in the 30s when he chooses a woman in her 20s? So that's the thinking. Whereas the women in the 30s, they're normally well educated, have their own income. Said, I can earn so much money. I earn so much money a month. But he's already earning a high income. Why would I need someone to earn money as well? I don't need, like we talked about last show, I don't need the headache and conflict. All I want is when I come home and I feel loved, nurtured, and there's no conflict. I just want a
happy
life and the house to be peaceful, not have conflict.
Good luck.
Yeah. So, so a woman in the 20s, she may not earn much, but I don't need someone to earn money as well, because I earn very highly. What I need for is I want a family. So it's much easier, and I can get more children from a woman that's actually younger, more fertile. That's the biological reality. We have to accept that.
Well, that's one of the first things that they say when you're looking at matchmaking or whatever.
Yep.
How old?
Yep, of course.
It's one of the first. And what's your waist dimensions?
Yeah, for a woman.
Well, it was like how many kilos are you and how old are you, type of thing. They're the two main criterias, yeah?
Yeah.
How old and how fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a man is how tall are you and how much you earn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So even you might say, oh, the East is so materialistic or whatever, not like our Westerners and thinking, but it's actually the same thing. You
It's
look at
the
your
exact same
choices,
thing,
it's the
yeah.
same thing because it's human nature. Oh, yes, another thing about China, because of the low marriage rates, the birth rates has plummeted. Now,
There's no more one-child policy.
yeah, no, even though there's no
In fact, they'll probably start sponsoring.
they're encouraging it. You know what? In the West, it's whether they have a high illegitimacy rate. Like in Australia, it's like 40% born out of wedlock. And in like some Scandinavian countries like Sweden, it's actually the majority, like 60% of children are born out of wedlock. So that's actually the norm. Whereas in China, it's less than 1%.
Well, that used to be that used to be frowned upon by
Frowned upon.
society.
And it should be too.
Yeah, you were
like
called
I
a
say.
bastard.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, in China, if you don't have children unless you marry. If you don't marry, you don't have children. So in China now, the number of children that are born now is the same as what it was 300 years ago. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm bringing up China. Is what the number of children? Yeah, it's the same as 300 years ago.
Apparently, it's all over the world. The rates of births are
births
dropping.
are plummeting in developed countries.
Japan, apparently.
Yeah,
have
but
got-
not places like India, though, because I don't have those policies.
Well,
and
a lot of the times the parents do because they need a superannuation plan, and they're hoping that the children will provide it. Because
well, only from the boys, not the girls, because they've got to pay the girls so they can marry their husband's family.
yeah, the dowry.
Dowry. Otherwise, no one would marry them. So basically, I don't know how you can defend the system when you actually give someone something to someone. You have to pay for them to take it away.
Yeah.
Even in the West as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was how it was. And I guess, you know, in European royalty, is one marrying, this princess will marry that ruler, whatever, making connection. And it's based on how much money you can pay, well, how much dowry she comes with, as to what's a good prospect. And even the wealthy, apparently, even the common people, not the royalty, does that. And the more you can pay, the wealthier husband you can get. Which I don't get it, the logic, because if they're that wealthy, they wouldn't need that money. So how does that work?
Doesn't make sense to me.
I don't make sense.
But obviously they've been doing it for a long time, so it must make sense to them.
Yeah, and so, but then it also makes sense the other way around when you've got to pay to marry a wife. So it makes sense of that. So which one's correct then? It makes sense on both. If it makes sense on both sides. Which is correct?
Or no payment at all.
Or no
You don't need to
payment.
pay them, and you don't need to take.
Yeah.
No taking, no giving.
So.
Just give to your,
Yeah, but okay. How did it work?
And instead of giving the money to the parents, buy your wife something nice. Then she'll stay, and then you might be no divorce then.
Yeah. But yeah. So how did it work with Chinese royalty then? If it were European royalty, is you have to you want to marry the daughter off to someone, you've got to pay the other monarchy or the other country. So how did they do it in China? Well,
they would only want boys, I suppose.
What did they do with the princess? What about marriages between the countries? How was that worked out? Okay, yeah, there was a payment, but traditionally
Military alliance, perhaps.
No, let me finish.
Okay.
Traditionally, all the other countries paid tribute to China. There was a tributing system, and in return, Chinese princesses were married off to them to keep them happy. Okay, to keep them happy because it considered a great privilege to be able to marry a Chinese princess. And the closer, the more legitimate the princess is, the closer to the emperor himself, the greater the honor it was. And that's how they bonded that way. So, for instance, a princess that is the emperor's sister, there's more honor in marrying her than, say, the emperor's cousin, for instance. Or his daughter over his niece, which is still a princess, but it's not as close. And is more close. The highest honor is if you marry the legitimate princess. It's one birthed by the empress. not the concubine.
So it's all by bloodlines, really.
But yeah, how close you are to the emperor, and that is the greater honor. It is.
Yeah.
So, and that, yeah.
Well, hopefully, it seems a lot like primitivism. And so hopefully that we can, rise above that level of primitive and come to some level of different level of intelligence. Maybe we should get AI to do it. Maybe that should be the matchmaker between people. It's the AI. Because it knows what we like and what we don't.
Yeah. So, I think, look, you get more people living alone, in this day and age. But also, there's a growth of online communities promoting male independence. Oh, you don't need marriage. You don't need a woman. Us blokes or whatever, mateship, or have a romance with another man. Even there's no kids.
Yeah.
You have to worry about then.
Well, there's much less divorce apparently.
Is there? I don't know about
with men and men that marry, men with men. Apparently, there's virtually not many divorces.
Well, I don't know about divorces, but I know that in domestic violence in gay couples statistically here is actually lower than in a heterosexual relationship.
Is that right?
Marriages, because men
domestic violence.
You know why? Because women tend to feel trapped more than men, and because she's softer hearted, she's saying, "Oh, maybe he'll change or whatever." No, it was my fault. I shouldn't have spoken back.
But how
Things
does
like
that relate to violence?
No, because she endures, whereas a man would not do it. You hit me, fine, I'm going, just like that. They would not make any excuses for the other person, but a woman would.
Okay.
And the most is actually lesbian relationships have the most domestic violence at all. Because
you know why? There's a simple reason why.
Yeah.
Because that involves two women.
Yeah. They stick around.
Whereas a heterosexual, there's like things that involves one woman.
Yeah.
So you've already got 50% less straight away.
Because one.
And in two men, if you notice, how many women's involved? None. None. There's no women involved. So there's a great indicator right there.
Yeah.
Only joking. Only jesting.
Yeah. So I think the reason, one of the reasons is there's none of that stigma about beating a man beating a woman. Okay, you're a woman. You've been beaten up by another woman. Oh, you should have fought back. Catfight, let's go. Like, in the playground, whenever there's a fight, everyone comes to watch, especially between two girls, goes, get him.
Yeah, no, yes, men love it. It's like...
Yeah, so they have the most domestic violence experience, and because both women, they feel they're trapped, you feel each other, and no stigma for beating up a woman.
I was into the fighting arts for a long time at a professional level, and I noticed that women are way more aggressive in it than men are. Like, men are tough, and there's no doubt about it. But and men could smash a woman probably pretty easy. But if you notice the level of aggression, like rah, and it's like you can see it's quite visible that the woman can be much more aggressive than men.
Sick of one bad date after another? Hoping the next one will finally be right? Thinking of settling for someone less than ideal because you're afraid you won't find someone else? Or maybe you haven't had a date in ages and you're losing hope? But there is an answer. Find out when you'll meet your special someone with a personalised Taoist astrology reading, revealing the best time for love based on your stars. For only $50, get a real reading by a professional astrologer. No computer-generated charts, no settling for second best.
Now, we already understand why men feel disillusioned. The general concerns of them are like financial consequences of divorce, child custody disputes. Yes, some men and some women are absolutely nasty and weaponize the children against the father. That does happen.
Yeah.
Even though a woman myself,
and so even the kids hate the father.
They turn the children against the father.
Got that. But doesn't change the fact that the bloke's still got to pay.
Yeah.
And he's having to pay for people that hate him. And blame him for most of the things. So, in many instances, we're not there at the time. There's lots of things that are,
You don't know what really went on.
We don't know. And you can't judge, you know,
And
in a
if you
lot of
ask
times.
both parties, they'll tell a completely different story. So who do you believe?
Yeah,
What's the truth?
That's right. And you listen to it and you think that, like, you hear there's two different sides of the story.
Exactly.
And if you listen to both sides, if you listen to one party first, you might want to punch the light out of the bloke.
Yeah.
If you listen to the things, and then you listen to his side and go, oh my God, what a
and then you wonder,
bitch from hell.
was this the same situation we're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Isn't it strange?
And-
Isn't it strange? But it's usually it's coming from the people are all self-protected,
Yeah.
self-armored. Like it's the self that's right, not.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, look, there's also the emotional impact of separation and the fear of course, losing access to the children, especially. And
That's what hurts the men. That's what hurts people the most. Is
my kids, and I can't even see my kids.
Can't even see them.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I actually know a guy who's a really good guy. There's no way in the world he would have done it, but he was accused of being a pedophile to his own children.
Yeah.
There's no way this bloke would have touched his own kids or any child.
Did they get his children to testify against him?
I'm not sure about that, but because I didn't want to dig too deep, but he was crushed.
Yeah, but
He's
because that's the ultimate
crushed.
weapon.
And he
as they
can't
say.
see his children.
Yeah.
Can't see his children. You know, child abuse. You're accused of being a child abuser. And then that's a stigma over you, and it's probably on your police records or anything, get pulled over. Oh, he's wanted for child abuse. Let's give him, you know, and things. And it's like, he never done it. You know, and that is hard, isn't it? Like when they've got that level of angst against the partner that you want to actually really hurt them. You know, and oh dear. So avoidance is really is better than that.
Yeah.
You know,
but-
look, happy family is a great thing, wonderful thing, a joy of life, all that. But the flip side is whoa.
But what happens, I want to ask it, our listeners just have a think about what is the cost of avoiding family altogether? Really think about it. I mean, there's a difference between freedom and purpose, you know? Look, what's the modern message men are being told? What? Earn more? Travel? Buy what you want? Answer to no one. So freedom becomes the ultimate goal.
Go where you want, come where you want, come talk to who you want.
Answer to no one.
Yeah.
You know, buy what you want, earn more.
I remember
look after
once
yourself.
I was talking to this old bloke and I was sitting by the river one day and I was staying in the same sort of hotel as him and he was down there at the river and I went down for a while and he was saying, we started talking away and he says, and he was saying about marriage and he says, oh, there's a woman that wants me to marry her again and all that stuff, but I've been divorced before, I'm not going there again. He says, because I really like talking to who I want to talk to and not being told who I can and cannot talk to. Who can be my friend and who can't, and then also you know, go where you want and come where you want and all that. But the one that got me was that I can talk to whoever I want without having her approval. You see, because she'll tell you who you can talk to and who you can't.
Is it like a case of no women? You can't talk to other women.
So that's for the. Well, I think it was then this case other men. So
really?
she will approve of who your friends are or whatever.
That guy's, well, if it's a case
He's this, he's that.
There's some things are legitimate concerns. If he's a gambler, no, I don't want you associating with him. You might pick up bad habits.
That's right.
Or he's a drunk.
Yep.
You know, no, you don't
Goes
want
out and gets fights or
whatever. And I don't want you to end up being a drunk like him.
Or he's got criminal intentions or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be something legitimate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that in that view, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But men, that's really saying to the men that you don't have the ability to discern who's a good person and who's not.
Well, coming like a gambler is really, like, he might be a great to yourself hard and really great, nice person, but he's got that gambling habit. And your worrying is that's very dangerous. You might end up going with him. He'll always go to the casino or whatever, and then you end up picking up that habit. So that's a danger. So you can understand at that point, but also who he associates with, habits he picks up from them. Well, she's also affected as well. They're in the same boat.
It is a valid point, but it's also a valid point that the men can make a discernment. I had a best friend, who was a chronic gambler. I'm not talking like king's ransom, and we used to go there quite often. and I never gambled a single dollar, ever. I was the only one. I used to go to the people in the casino, these massive high rollers and things, and saying, I've never even lost a single dollar in here. What? You've never lost? What do you mean? Because I've never done it. I learned from you people not to do this game. So, but you have to have a level of discernment.
Yeah.
And as you say, you can be influenced by other people, can't
Yeah,
you?
you can.
I mean, some people who are really nice, quiet, whatever, and they've got goals and dreams, attributes, and things, and then they meet with the wrong people, and they get sidetracked, and then they end up becoming like them. So yeah, you've got to be careful who you. My old friend used to say, if you associate with cripples, you'll walk with a limp. If you're around dogs, you'll get fleas. So it's sounds a bit crude,
so now
a bit crass, but
I've talked
nonetheless.
about the modern view, but what's the traditional view? Okay,
The traditional view.
Historically, many cultures viewed masculine success differently, really. What's success? Was building something lasting, protecting a family, raising children, and leaving a legacy. That was success. So, and
Well,
what's the
worthwhile ideals.
yeah. So, what's the two differences? Now, freedom asks, "What do you want today?" Well, purpose asks, "What will remain after I'm gone?" True. Yeah. And so, look, is legacy the ultimate measure of success? I mean, what's legacy? It's more than just wealth. It includes children, grandchildren, values, traditions, character, reputation, community contribution. Yeah. And that's how people remember. Oh, he was great. He came and contributed so much. Like for instance, like the Fred Hollows Foundation is now still being talked about because of what he did before. He was an eye doctor for saved so many people's sight.
Nearly 100,000 people.
Yeah, and that's a legacy.
Yeah.
It leaves behind, and so that's community contribution.
Yeah, and went into third world countries.
Yeah.
And at
Absolutely.
the discomfort of his own
Of
self,
himself. So how
to
much?
help others. And it wasn't like they could pay him.
No, it was for free. It's all
So he did it for free. What a
out of
great
the
man.
heart,
What a great man.
So how much admiration would you give to a man
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
If there was nothing else behind it, that's what his true motivation was to help people who are going blind.
I don't
What a
think-
great man.
what a great man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, many successful men accumulate wealth, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but are they
but-
great men?
Yeah,
you see,
but-
what do they really contribute to
Yeah,
society?
but what's their wisdom? And what happens when there's no one to inherit their wisdom? I mean, that's one thing. Look, money can be spent in one generation, yeah?
It usually is the case.
Yeah, but values...
Well, just ask a gambler.
But what about values? Values influence many generations.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of experiments done with families who had, where a family came from a good family, and then there's another family that came from criminal families, and the whole offspring, their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, they were criminal, this, that, murderers, so many were in jail. And on the other side, judges, politicians, well... Let's strike that one off. They had their doctors and they actually contributed, engineers or whatever, they contributed to society.
Yep.
And it was like how many people had degrees and PhDs and things, all because they came from a good foundation. People with good morals, good ethics, a family with happy families with morals and ethics, and that breeds other families, other family members to have the same attributes. Yeah. Whereas the criminal side of things, they had missing attributes. Yeah.
So, retreat or reform? Now, what would be
Retreat or reform?
Okay. So, what would you do? Ask a man that either one response could be withdraw completely, never marry, never have children, avoid commitment, or response number 2. Work towards a healthier relationships and stronger institutions. So, what can we do? We can encourage better partner selection. Hello? And I know a lot of men would defend themselves by saying, oh, she was so nice in the beginning. And so
Well,
forth.
they're not, some many instances, they're not completely incorrect.
Okay, but that's the face, because you're, again, just like ice cream tastes so nice in the beginning until it gives you so many issues. Yes, she was young and slim, and she was all sweet and so forth, and a lot of things.
But it
until
doesn't. If you leave it out of the fridge, it'll go off.
Go off. But really, like if you expect her to be doing something in the marriage, or have somebody, or be responsible, then you've got to, like I say, check it out beforehand. Make sure. Like an example, like many men complain afterwards, after a divorce, oh, she never cooked. Well, if you expected her to cook during a marriage, what do you do when you're selecting a marriage partner? First of all, it doesn't matter how beautiful she is or how funny she is. Can she cook? And does she enjoy cooking? Otherwise, do not expect her to be cooking when you're during the marriage. Okay? And if she doesn't fail that criteria, either you don't check that out, or she doesn't fails those two criteria, then and you still marry her, then you cannot complain afterwards.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
You can't. Like, it's just like anything. It's like you purchase something, you check out beforehand. Can it do the job?
And can she stay calm around noisy children?
Yeah.
Without losing it.
What is she like? What is her patience like?
Yeah. There's many things you need to look for.
Is she self-centered?
Yeah.
And like I've heard of a lot of men, instances where they're sending child support and they honestly think they're supporting and providing for their children. Well, it ends up later on when they meet up with their child growing up and saying, I thought you didn't give us anything. We were always half hungry and so forth. My mum got her nails done every week and went to the salon.
There was one YouTube short where the guy comes with a dinner pack because his kid was hungry, rang him up.
Yeah.
So he went with one dinner pack because the woman, his ex, had 4 children with 4 different men.
Yeah.
But he didn't buy them for the 4. And so she went nuts. Where's my other children? Where are they going to eat?
Well, that's not my problem.
That's not my. You ring the other daddies.
Yeah.
And I think so. There's all this sort of things. Oh dear. Yeah. So choose wisely. That's number one. Number one thing before you
if
make
you
a
had
commitment.
put thought and really analysed her and chose accordingly, and then it still didn't work out, and she does a 180 afterwards, then you can complain. But not if you did not do your due diligence beforehand. Okay. And look. Relationship education, educating men what to expect and what you should be doing in a relationship. Because we're not actually told, are we?
That's the thing about it.
We're not educated about it.
Where's the rule book?
Yeah, we're not educated about it all.
Where's the instruction manual for marriage and relationships? There's none, apart from this show. But where's the instruction manual? How you should be, how we should act.
Yeah.
What should we do in these situations or so on?
Yeah. And
so we're sort of just left to our own devices, yeah? We're sort of happy-go-lucky, just we meet with someone and hope that we get it right. Yeah. Without any formal training, you see.
So also financial transparency, I guess, look, shared parental responsibility. You have to know, education on that, and communicate, but really check the person beforehand, because people put so much thing, it was a communication issue and so forth. No, it was an incompatibility issue. People confuse lack of communication with incompatibility. So look, the key point of all this is avoidance may reduce personal exposure to risk, but reform seeks to improve the system for everyone. I mean, marriage provides so much more benefits if it's with the right partner. It's just like where you go into business. The right business partner that you chose, it was great. Things took off and whatever. But if you choose the wrong one, it wrecked the whole thing. It's the same thing, even more so in life. Choosing a life partner. Not just a business partner. Yeah. Business partner only affects your business. Well, life partner affects everything. And so what? Look, building a legacy, it requires choosing well. So If it's about legacy, then the partner selection becomes one of the most important decisions of your life. I mean, like I was saying, shared values. Have you got character, really? Emotional maturity. Now, it doesn't always correlate with age, emotional maturity. You can be 70 years old and still be very emotionally immature.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
And other things like character, like ability to have self-control. Okay, we can do another show on single mothers later, but a really in is single mothers.
Be a double episode.
Yeah. The problem with this is they don't have self-control. Well, ended up, you're putting a risk, you get pregnant without any commitment or marriage. However,
Yeah,
and
but
then it's going back.
that can happen in any moment, really, couldn't it? Like
Lack
a
of self-control.
bottle of wine here, whatever.
No, I'll tell you, it is a
day.
character flaw. You asked what type of excuse is that? Who gets pregnant accidentally these days anymore? Okay, there's all these options available for you.
It's not like you just suddenly you tripped up and fell on the
tripped up
floor.
and fell up. It's a conscious decision. Well, hello, there's this thing called contraception, and the people that do it, the character is they can't control themselves. The reason why, I'll give you an example. There's someone I know. Well, she's in her 70s now, but she had she was a single mum. She had a child out of wedlock, and it's also because she wanted to see this group band, and that was a way in, a rock band after the concert. Lack of self-control, and how is it reflected? It's not. Some might say, "Oh, I was just young, naive, and stupid." Can put it to youth. Well, even at this age, she lacks self-control. She has diabetes, but goes through 2 tubs of ice cream a week. So this is what I mean by lack of self-control. It's an inherent character in the self. So that it might manifest in something else later, may not be necessarily that, but the fact is lack of self-control. It's what got her into trouble. It's a character issue. I know it's not very popular in saying that, but that's the sort of thing. And also your partner, they're financially responsible. Some people cannot hack it anymore because either their partner, because they share the entire financial burden in the relationship or the marriage, because they're the ones that they're thinking, worrying about bills or whatever. When your partner goes, la la la, the second change, how many shopping trips she's done this week.
Yeah.
So to speak. And like I said, the analogy, look, you've got the hunter and the person doing the skinning and preserving. You need both, just like in modern life. Yeah, it's fine for you to do the earning, but you need someone to be managing the money and the investing. Otherwise, you have to keep earning because there's going to be no money left if you don't do it. And so it comes back to, like I always say, how well they eat depends on him. How much money he brings in. How long they get to eat well for depends on her. How well she's managed the money, and if can stretch beyond last beyond when he stopped working.
Yeah, it's not about how much money you earn, really. It's what
you do with it. Yes, I think I know what you were going to say.
Yeah,
yes,
no, that's right. What you do with it, what you do with the money that you do earn.
Yeah.
So, for example, one of the wealthiest men in China, actually told me the story how he started off. He started off selling eggs on a bicycle for cents.
And he became a billionaire.
Become a billionaire.
Yeah, richest man in China as well.
Well, one of them. Yeah, close to it.
Close to. We are one of the richest men in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
So, and that's within one lifetime.
Yeah.
Less than one lifetime,
Yeah.
he's able to turn that around. So
Yeah.
if there's a will, you can do it.
And if some person can do it, then it means
Anyone can do it.
well,
with that ability, it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, to do it.
It's
So
possible.
I thoroughly understand. And look at saying conflict resolution. They're good in conflict. They're reasonable, and also long-term thinking. You want someone that thinks of the long term, not the short term. Short term, self gratification,
Yeah.
instant gratification type
Ice
of
cream.
people. ice cream people, not cow salad people. So
Salad flavor ice cream.
yeah.
I might get around it. Actually, where I just laughed so much I couldn't believe it. There was a guy who was sitting in his car in America, and he was in the car park, and he said, a woman comes up to him like a Karen sort of person. He goes, you park so close to my car. How am I expected to get into my car? Ah! And the guy turned out the window and he says, have you tried salads?
Yeah. And then what was the reaction?
Not very well. It didn't go down too well at all. Salad ice cream.
Salad ice cream. So, look, one good decision in choosing a spouse can influence generations. Because remember, if you're a man, you're choosing the mother of your children. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important.
Very important.
And on long term. And look, one poor decision can create hardships for years, wreck your life, basically.
Yeah.
So this is a question I want to put out to our listeners. Like, should more time be spent teaching people how to choose a life partner rather than simply telling them to avoid marriage? Yeah.
Yeah.
Really think about it. I want our listeners.
That's a rhetorical question. Because we know the answer straight away.
Okay. And look, we're coming towards the end of our show.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Don't forget to download your free copy of my book, Your Complete Partner, How to Choose the Right Partner for Love and Marriage for a Lifetime. So just head on over to my website, Make Marriage Great
But
Again.
it's really quite expensive, though, isn't
.net,
it?
yeah,
How much is it?
Yeah, with a free, yeah.
Free?
Yeah.
What?
And
It should be compulsory reading, perhaps.
okay, don't forget to join my Facebook pages. I have two, Make Marriage Great Again and Miss Dragonfly. Please try to follow both if you can, because I do post different things on the Facebook pages, but at least follow one. And let us know by what you think of the show by leaving your comments there on my Facebook page. And
Try not to swear.
yeah, and if there's a subject you'd like me to cover, then feel free to leave it there as well. And if I can cover it, then I certainly will. All right, and thanks again, Bluey, for coming in, because today is very male-centered show. Because, like I said, men have been grossly serviced, really regarding this sphere.
I'll put my hand up.
Yeah. Help your fellow men out. And look, and I'll close with this. Look, today's discussion wasn't about telling every man that he should marry. No. Nor was it about dismissing the very real concerns men have about divorce and family law, because it's true. But every individual has to weigh their own circumstances, values, and goals. And the broader question is, if the answer to difficult institutions is simply to walk away, what happens to the next generation then? Because throughout history, many men found purpose not only in personal achievement, but also in building families, mentoring children, strengthening communities, and leaving behind something greater than themselves. But that does not mean that every man must become a husband or father. But it does invite us to think about the kind of legacy we want to leave. Because real strength is not only measured by what we accumulate, it is also measured by what we build, what we protect, and what we pass on. I'm Miss Dragonfly, and I hope today's conversation encourages you to think not just about the risks of commitment, but also about the opportunities to create something that lasts beyond your own lifetime. So choose wisely, love wisely, and marry wisely. I'm Miss Dragonfly, and together, let's make marriage great again. So on that, don't forget to tune in same time next week. And until then, it's bye for now. Bye.